welcome to Iowa 411. Today we are live on set here at Des Moines Flea. This is the podcast that gives you the 411 on all things Iowa.
This episode of Iowa 411 is proudly sponsored by Soul Shots Photo Booth, providing premium photo booth experiences for weddings, corporate events, and private celebrations throughout the Des Moines area. Enhance your next event with customized photo experiences at soulshots.com.
With me today, I have the owners of DSM Flea, Phoenix Lee and Boey Lu.
What's up, everybody?
What's good?
So first of all, guys, let's talk about the journey to having the store, having, being vintage as your kind of your thing. Let's first talk about what did that journey look like? So when you first, whatever you were doing before that, what led you to vintage?
Yeah, it's a long journey.
It's a long journey, yeah.
It was kind of a separate journey first,
Yeah.
right? And then, we came together a little bit later, but I guess for me personally, was always thrifting when I was younger, but it was more out of necessity because we grew up with not much money, right? And so a lot of it was finding outfits that weren't at the mall because we, money-wise, we had to get stuff for $1 to $5 and everything. So back in high school, I was always looking for that kind of stuff, like different 90s Nike pieces or different band tees or, old Jordan products, all that kind of stuff. And then going into selling, I was actually selling mortgage at Wells Fargo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was my first out the gate. When I was 18, I did a corporate kind of world and everything.
Gotcha.
And then started doing it on the side. I was selling sneakers. And so I was kind of doing that. Sneakers are great, but was always into vintage. And so a lot of people weren't in Des Moines doing that. Besides this guy right here and a couple other people, and so so I had personally started my website at the time. It was Rise Again Vintage.
Okay.
So we did that. Had the website. I literally sold my whole sneaker collection to fund my business to start off. And crazy stuff. I had 3 pairs of shattered backboards. I had 94 Chicago's, all these.
So Heat, basically. Yeah, so Heat, right.
And it was so sad to see it go, but it was the dream of I always knew corporate world wasn't for me, and it was the dream of doing something, the passion of working for yourself.
Right.
But then what am I passionate about, and turning that into the hobby into a line of work. So went from there. 2016 or 17, I believe we started that, and then not too long afterwards I met him.
Yeah.
So kind of went from there. But
Yeah.
Bowie's got his own.
And Boey, your journey, what did that look like?
It was interesting. It was long. It's been a long time since we did this, but for me in the beginning, it was my dad. He always we weren't rich at all, so our new clothes was my dad coming home with just a black bag of just clothes. So we just go through okay, we got new clothes.
Yeah.
So that was normal for us. But then going into maybe middle school, back then it was different. You'd get made fun of for you got that from the DAV, stuff like that.
Right. Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
You would get clowned, and so then that was when I was no, we can't. I can't. I can't wear that. So then I'd try to get the cool stuff. Back then it was the Fat Farms.
Yeah.
And then back then there was a lot of plain tees, the Finish Line plain tees. So that's how I dressed in middle school. But then high school I didn't really thrift neither because again the stigma of you looked poor. But I think once after high school, I was on my own, this and that. And then I remember Zoomies had just gotten here at Jordan Creek, right? Going to a party, I had this shirt. I can't remember what shirt it was, but 3 other dudes had the same shirt on. And I'm damn, this ain't it. This is not it.
Yeah.
I remember that time, I'm and the music was a big influence. It was Mac Miller, he was wearing old school snapbacks. And
Right.
even after the Tiger had the snapback stuff. That was after I started though. And then there was some other guy, some low key dude named Nico DeTore from Vegas, who was some Asian dude, and all he wore was straight vintage. I was this shit's fly. So then I'm let me get back in. Started thrifting probably 2009, 2010, and then started getting all this new stuff. And then I'm wearing it to parties, and they're oh shit, Boey, where did you get that? Where did you get that? And back then it was I was looking for jerseys, I was looking for snapbacks, a lot of windbreakers, stuff like that. So that's how it started. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it was. And once I started finding my niche in that, no one was wearing what I was wearing, and I felt good. I was this is what I was doing. That kind of started the collection, and then that went into for years of homies would come over oh, let me buy that, and I was getting these things for $2-3 at a time. You know what I'm saying? So it's shit. give me 5, give me 10, just giving it, switching out, giving it to the homies. And then, yeah, that was really how I got really into vintage. And then like, I had a full-time job too. I was working in the kitchen for 6 years. I was working long hours. Kitchen life is crazy. I was working 60, 70 hours a week, right? And then I think at one point I was like, I'm just tired of it. I was over it. And then next thing you know, I quit my full-time job. And then that's when I think my mental health was like, okay, let me do something for my own.
Right.
And then that's when I started like Vintage X Hype.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was like my first company. And I love that, because that's like what took me out the box, took me into what I wanted to love and all that stuff too.
That's right.
So yeah, that's really what happened. Then at the time, there's no one, I was really into sneakers. So that was like my love too. Like sneakers is my first passion.
Right.
And then next thing you know, there's probably like, I'm like looking on Instagram. There's like a dude from Iowa City. Shout out Peter. He's from Vice.
Iowa Thrift.
Iowa Thrift.
Iowa Thrift.
Yeah. So shout out Peter. Iowa Thrift. He was like one of the only other dudes I seen in Iowa doing this. I was like, he's got some heat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like in the Des Moines, there's probably like 3 or 4 other people.
Yeah.
And then I remember on the sneaker groups.
Yeah.
Sneaker groups is all shoes, but then we started showing like people started putting on vintage like clothes and. I think that's how we met. Is that how we met?
We met through.
Was it through sneaker groups or was it was through Facebook for sure?
We were doing like it was the Iowa Soul Days, Iowa Sneakerheads.
I remember the first time, or it might have even been the other homie, Davon.
Yeah.
And I went to go buy something from him.
That's when we first started shopping.
And then you lived at the same apartment, and then you was like, "Yo, what's going on over here?" And I was buying a jersey or vice versa or something, and then that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
So for our listeners and our viewers, they will be up and down here and there because they are actually open today. So we are invading on their business time. But yeah, this is just a fun thing for us to come out and actually do with you guys. So thanks for letting us come on location. Yeah, go ahead and step away as you need to. And so as far as your curations here, I mean, I know there's a wide variety, so we'll get back to the journey once Boey returns, but just kind of talk about the curated experience that you have here today. And for our viewers and listeners, we will do a short tour at the end, but Phoenix, just kind of give us a highlight of the different things that you have.
You know, the idea when it came to DSM Flea was we wanted somebody to walk in, not only just clothing, but vinyl, VHS tapes. It's all the stuff that we collect, right? So like Boey and I both collect vintage. We have records and stuff. I personally collect like horror VHS and like different things like that. And so it's just like this love letter to everything that we've ever wanted or collected. And it's the vision that, we'll get back to the journey, like you said, later, but this is 10 years in the making for both of us. So this is the idea of like just writing, like, this is what we wanted. This is the shop we wanted. So when you walk in, you see like the nostalgic poster walls, or you see like the random Hello Kitty head in the back. But, just these different things that bring nostalgic vibes, and then also fashion. Like the vintage scene has blown up so much over the past couple of years, and so it's been cool to see like what our curation is going to be. A lot of sports vintage, promos. Like we love like TV and movie promos a lot, wrestling, local stuff too. We got a great selection of Iowa State gear, Iowa gear, things like that. And then we also, something new that we did with this space was bringing in vendors. And so we brought in a couple vendors. So we have women's, like Y2K is really big right now, which is a whole nother topic of things. It's just crazy to see like stuff we grew up on, that not only myself with like Jenkos and like all that kind of stuff.
That has been crazy. Jenkos definitely.
It's wild to see. Like, and now the women's wear, like stuff I saw my sister wear. My sister's 3 years older than me. I'd seen her wear stuff that's now back. Like, it's great vanity. Like the old store at the mall, I see a couple of those products over there, just different things. Okay. So we wanted to bring that because that's such a popular thing right now. And give, other people a chance that gave us a chance too, So a lot of our vendors we met through doing the DSM Flea events. And now a couple of them are here. So we have like Eclectic Vintage, Pretty Lilies, and then 9-2. And then we also have Bogue's Vinyl in the back. Selling the
Bogue's Vinyl. You got to definitely check that guy out.
And so, yeah, I know you know. So no, and then I met him through record shows and stuff, So it's given that opportunity. But the biggest thing is affordable vintage. Anybody can walk in. We have a $10 rack right outside right now. We do have some more exclusive stuff, but you can walk in and get a full fit for under 100 is like, that was kind of the price point we were looking at. So a lot of our stuff's $20 to $40. You know, you can really cool stuff too. It's not just your random stuff at that price point. It's stuff that is really memorable, great fashion pieces.
Good. Now your inventory, I know some of it is thrifted by yourself. Do you buy from, like, can someone come in with vintage and would you buy that as well too?
We do buy, sell, trade.
Okay.
So we haven't like fully advertised it yet, but we've bought a ton of stuff like here so far. So basically you come in, we offer cash and credit.
Okay.
So you come in, say you, for example, we have Tokyo exclusive vape on that wall over there. So we have that price right now, I think at either 110 or 120, right? So say somebody comes in and they have a couple shirts that they want to put towards credit to get that shirt, or fully bring in a collection and then they could get different things. And that credit can sit, like you don't have to use it right away. You can use it, or we give a cash offer and you can walk away with some cash. So it's whatever's sitting in your closet, please bring through to the shop, you know what I mean? And get, so.
Well, good deal. Now that Boey's about to join us again, I now want to kind of go into the two of you joining forces, right? I mean, I know you guys came from different walks of life. You met through vintage. So talk a little bit about what brought the two of you together and date all the way back to when it first started.
I could go.
Yeah.
I can start with that. All right. There's this running joke, right? Like, a lot of my homies, a lot of my friends, I've known them for years, right? And I've known Phoenix for now for like almost 8-9 years now.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm always like, Phoenix is my newest friend. Like, if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because we locked in for years, but it's like, but we've been like together, working together for like years now. But it's just a running joke. Like, this is my newest friend. You know, like, you know, because now it's like, it's my homie for life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, so I want to say like how we kind of joined forces. So when I was with VXH, when I was running VXH, I was over at DMI Vapor, so I was in the store on the east side, and then I went to like Illis Round over at Merle Hay.
Yeah.
But then when we opened up Illis Round, and we had already met, we were deciding to throw a pop-up. And so that was our first pop-up together, right, at the mall. And we had Rise Again Vintage,
515 Vintage,
515 Vintage, Austin, and then we also had Miller, with Human Clothing, and then we had a few others too. But that was like the first time we locked in and started working together. And then so once things coincided with the mall, we had already became homies. We started like working together, but like us like building like a real like, relationship with business was when we opened up the location on the west side. Because I was offered the chance to like hold the whole backside of Illis Round with Alan and J-Bo for Illis Round, right?
Shout out to Alan and Justin as well, Illis Round. That was the start. That was the start of consignment.
No,
in a sense, yeah. So when we were there, we were opening up the new shop, and then they were like, yo, do you want to hold down the whole backside for vintage? And it was a big space, right? And it was just me, and I'm like, I got inventory, but also like, it was a big space.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? Can I talk to the homie? Can I bring someone in? And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you know. And the first person I thought of was this guy. So then I think that's really when we started like working together, met with him, and he was down. I don't even remember that conversation, if I'm being for real.
Well, I know we were, because I couldn't remember, you know, sometimes it goes so long with years where it's like, was our last gym before or after that?
It was after.
It's after, okay.
After.
Because we already had
we were at Illis Round, and then the last gym was toward the end of Illis Round. Yeah. So we were at, that spot was what, maybe a year or two? I can't even remember.
It was like 2018.
Yeah, so
November,
once we opened up Illis Round on the west side, that's when we went full thrudge and we just started like working. We were like, and at the time we were still thrifting separately. So we were like, we had to come up with the name because we both were different entities, right? We were VXH and then we were RAV. You know, so like we were like, all right, how can we come together and provide vintage for this store, right? But still be like, Illis Round was the store, but we wanted entity inside the store too.
So it's like store within the store.
Store within the store, vintage store, and then low-key, I don't know. I had a storage unit at the time too, and I think at the time I was like, yo, like, what do you think about this name, the Archive? And we was like, let's run with the Archive, and so we ran with the Archive, and then once we were in there, that's when we started like going on trips. Like I think our first trip was going to like Iowa City. just to go see the homies at Vice or
We
like
picked
go
up the
thrifting.
Michael Jordan cutout.
We had a Michael Jordan cutout, and we had this thing for years.
Yeah.
Which low-key we don't have it no more, but
We're trying to get it back.
we're trying to get it back because we know who got it.
Yeah.
And so like low-key, I was like looking at all these when I was like looking back on all of this stuff, right? And then I was like going back in my posts, bunch the Michael Jordan cutout was in the
like
back
every
of all
post.
my like product shots. I'm like,
I know,
we need
gotta
that
get it
back for the store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like one of the first times we traveled somewhere, even though it was Iowa City,
Yeah.
we got to bond as like two humans, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then we found this dude on Facebook Market. It's like what, some 60-year-old dude, like bought this Jordan cutout for $75 bucks or something like that, and brought it home, and then we just like.
But it was like a big. I feel like for just us as like like as homies, but then also like we got to learn more about each other and learn that we
didn't know nothing about each other.
No, we were just blowing.
For real. We were just homies that knew about
and
clothes.
we found out we had like similar paths in life and just different things, and so it was like it was cool to like find somebody that was into vintage, but also be like, oh no, you get it too, like different. So it was really and we got that Jordan cutout, and I just feel like the rest like on it like. Then the archive, just blew up into different things. But when it comes to Alan and Justin, I mean, like a lot of this doesn't happen without them today too.
I agree. I completely agree. And it's interesting how certain things bring together things that you never would have imagined ever could come.
It all happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
So you see how how Phoenix explained, we have vendors in here as well.
Yeah.
We were literally the vendors.
Yeah.
And now we're recycling that in a new way. Now at our store.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
People have dreams to open up theirs. Especially like I know 9-2 Austin, like he has dreams to open up his store one day.
Sure.
And so it's like you get to see the experience. We got to learn about the business without like just jumping in. Like we got to, it was our college in a way. Like we got to really see how everything works, the behind the scenes of stuff. I mean, even events, like they, were hosting the culture shocks and like all that kind of stuff.
And we were just in the background. We were learning.
We were helping, but we were learning like the process. So it was really dope.
Well, you guys have really done a fabulous job. I mean, we will do a full tour, but I mean, it's beautiful in here, the way you guys have it all set up. And, I love the model. The model you guys have is outstanding because it also allows others who do the same thing to learn the business.
Yeah.
Maybe they decide through this, they don't want to do it on their own. You know what I mean? So that's great. So as we talk about your setup here, there's a lot of other vintage places here. What sets DSM Flea apart from some of the other ones that you see?
Yeah, we get this question asked a lot actually because we're in East Village right now, right? If you look around, there's about like 5 shops I think total. And so the cool part is somebody from out of town, we get a lot of people from out of town, right? They can all bounce around. You look at the Wicker Parks in Chicago where you get there and there's 10 stores on the block. Right. And so people do ask that question, what's different? What's this? And like for us, same thing that's on this sign right here is community. And so vintage, I always tell people is like vintage is what pays the bills. It puts the roof over our head, but community, I think doing these things, setting events and doing stuff in-house and giving people opportunities is something that is different from maybe the other spaces. Like, like they're still great spaces. Their focus primary is vintage or clothing. Ours is to provide like that third space for people, for somebody to walk in, like something that I know both him and I have like dreamed of forever was you go into a space and you want to feel excited to talk about what you're passionate about with the person that's passionate about it. I remember like back in the day, like when I was like just into video games or stuff, like I would go into GameStop and be like, oh, this game's coming out and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes people would care, other times people wouldn't. And so that space, having people come through and feel excited to talk with like one of us about fashion, about, clothing, sneakers, whatever it is, I think that's what kind of sets us apart. And then just the community aspect of bringing people in. We just had Matcha in last weekend. Cozy Please. We had Deja in doing teeth gems. Like, again, giving the other local businesses an opportunity to thrive within our business is something, this is a beautiful space, just a little bit over 1,200 square feet. And so we have a little bit of the room. We have a stage. We're sitting on the stage right now. We have goals of doing like shows here, DJ sets, concerts, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's going to be more than just your average vintage shop is doing. So.
All right, listeners, you heard it here first. More than just an experience of shopping, which I really love. So now let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about events, right? So when I hear DSM Flea's name, I think events, right? You guys have events all around the city, and it's not always vintage based, which I really, really love. Like the one that stands out to me is it's like where you listen to a record. What's it called? The vinyl
book club.
Vinyl book club.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the different projects that you guys do and events that you do, but let's start with that one first.
Yeah, so Vinyl Book Club came from honestly, it was selfishly, I just wanted to like listen to music with people. I told Boey about it, and like the idea was just to bring people together based off of the love of music and to talk about it like a book club. And so the idea was playing an album front to back, and then talking about it afterwards. It's funny, I joke about it. It's like, first one we did, right, was Dijon's Absolutely. It's a newer record, came about like 2018 or so. Okay. And we played it through. It was so cool to see the youth come through, and also just like generations come, because you had a lot of Drake students come by. We do it at Mars Cafe, second Tuesday of every single month. Okay. And so it was just really, it was dope. It was dope to see everybody there about one common goal, which is to listen to music, to love it, to talk about it. And now we're 8 months in, July. I want to say July or 7 months in, we're partnering with Domino Records, a record company based out of Brooklyn, New York, that reached out to us about doing, they have an artist, Panda Bear, that is doing a very special release. It's not going to be on streaming. It's only going to be on like download and then cassette and vinyl. And so they reached out to us, and they're in Brooklyn. Like, it's crazy that like we got to this point of like, but people are like, I think really craving that. They're craving for like that community. And so that was the other kind of part of it. The reason why we did some of that kind of stuff, like Vinyl Book Club, we've done watch parties together. We're working on doing some movie watch kind of parties here too, like just different things. But Vinyl Book Club is like, it's like the baby, it's just been cool to see it grow.
To bounce off music though too, because like obviously we're sitting on stage, we're sitting in our space where we have a whole sound system set up, right? We want to do like you said, concerts, shows, DJ events. Like we also do Club Cafe, and that's another part of like the community aspect. Like not just a vintage store, but we're doing a lot more. Where we're trying to bring people together, vibe with music, drinks, and Club Cafe is like we've been a year now, a little over.
Yeah, a little over.
And, like
a year.
we do it we probably do it like quarterly. Yeah, but it's like like Club Cafe started with we're not going out no more. You know what I'm saying? We're waking up, we're going to get coffee, and so it's like, but we still want to have that music aspect. So it's like Club Cafe is waking up in the morning, going to a coffee shop. We've collaborated with some great people. We've done Zavi. They don't even do it. They don't even do like a regular coffee system. But we've done Daily Chain, and then what was it Chain and Spoke?
Yeah, Chain and Spoke, Horizon Line, Mars Cafe, like a lot of the local spots.
Yeah, so we've done plenty of like those Club Cafes where it's like people just come in the morning, get a coffee, but they're still vibing with the DJ. Sure. And that's again we're bringing in DJs, different DJs all around the city to share their craft, share their love, share their music, and then they get to spend it with people in the morning and set the vibe. So again, community with the music too. So
sure. Okay, so let's talk about the big deal one, right? The one that you hear about, that the events continue to grow, and that's DSM Flea, right? So I've had the pleasure, and Soul Shots has had the pleasure of being at a lot of those events this year. Talk about what started that, how long you've been doing it, and then I have some other questions I'm going to ask you specific to those events.
Yeah. Cool. DSM Flea, it started 2 years. We just passed our 2 years actually in June. It started at Surety Hotel, was the first one we did, and it was about 10 vendors, I think, like around just there. So we did like a little bit inside, a little bit outside, and so the whole idea was to build this monthly market that we didn't really have that here in Des Moines. And so you look at bigger cities like LA, New York, Chicago, they do these monthly vintage markets. They do have local artists and stuff. So we just started building that. Started in June with 10 people, and now we're going to, the 2 year was like 70 plus vendors. Like it's been crazy. Like the quick growth of it has been wild, but I think it comes from the reps, right? Like we're always big about, doing these things continuously. Like if you continue to post, if you continue to host events, like the reps will come, the people will come with it. And so to see that grow in 2 years, I mean, you've helped a lot with it too, man. Like with Soul Shots, like having that photo booth, opportunity for people to come in and spread that, not only just through marketing, but also just like it's a new thing, it's an addition. And all of these events that we've hosted, all of these places we've collaborated with, like Big Grove, Surety Hotel in the beginning, Valair has been such a good partner now. So now we're close to just about to doing monthly at Valair. So like getting to the point of doing that and building that relationship, it's all about the relationship building. And so seeing businesses that started with us now grow, artists get commissions from different companies and stuff, mural commissions, crazy stuff that's happened, to vintage people starting their whole entire business, and now that's a lot of their main income is doing our events per month. It's dope to see. It really is. And like that was part of our goal, because we didn't have that, right? Like starting off, we only had 2 events a year. So we were like looking forward to the summer. And it was June, July, and then you're back to selling online.
Exactly.
So it's like, unless you got the spot. And so it's like, okay, what could we provide for people, not only for us, but also for the community to be like, hey, I have this idea for a business. I have a monthly place to go to that I can go and sell and pay some bills.
Exactly. And just the versatility, because I remember you guys have done them at Mainframe Studio, you've done them outside, you've done them in, now your 2 year, you actually had it on top of a parking ramp, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which was a huge market as well too. And the one thing that just continues to be astonishing to me is the partnership amongst all of the different vintage vendors, right? You mentioned it yourself. There's 5 of them here alone. All of them were at you guys' market. So that's what's outstanding is it really isn't a competition. It's what you said, community, right? And everyone is working together. And everyone wins in those situations, right? So I want to congratulate you guys on that and your success with all of the events. And obviously there's going to be more to come as well. So now as we talk about those events and vendors, are there specific vendors you target that you want there? And what's the process? If I am selling vintage and I want to come to your market, what do I have to do?
Yeah. So typically it's an application process. So each month we'll post like a calendar of like, hey, these are upcoming events we have. Usually on the link in the bio, we'll have our Google form applications. Very simple. You'll click on it, have it fill out the process. A lot of it's like, have you vended before? Tag your social media. What kind of products do you sell and stuff? The selection process, it gets tough. It's gotten tougher over the time because more people have been applying, and it's been, it has been a little difficult because we do have to say no to certain people and stuff. That doesn't mean that your no can't turn into a yes. Like, doesn't mean like forever it's a no. But the process is we kind of look to see what is it that the market needs. How can we grow? Because if we're doing this monthly, we don't want the same people every single month. We do want the people coming back, but we want new people to be like, oh, I haven't seen this person before. So now it's kind of the process, like this upcoming month on the 28th, we have some people coming from Chicago. We have some people coming from Minneapolis, Kansas City, and then also still within the community too. And it's dope to get those regulars because it's cool to see what they bring and grow, but then the new people too. And so that's our goal is like, for example, like a 50 vendor event, our goal is to get at least 10 to 12 new vendors, and be like, hey, come in. We still got some regulars too. So.
What I like about your vendors too is it's a little bit of everything, right? You have drinks, you have food. I bought a designer bag off of a gal there as well, and I even ran into a gal that had decanters. Old decanters, and it was really, really nice. I didn't even imagine those things would be thrifted, and oh my gosh, and very, very nice ones as well too. So, okay, so now let's talk about the event itself. So let's talk about planning an event. So now an event is going to happen. What does that planning look like?
With that, it can take months. And like, for instance, we just drew our 2 year. We started working on that January, February. So that's a good 5 months. And honestly, that goes into a lot of like networking, connections, and like a lot of back work for us, trying to figure out who, what, where, when, and how. A lot of hows, So, it's a lot of legwork. A lot of meetings, a lot of this and that. So, even when we do like, for instance, the Valair one, now that we've done about 3 of them now. Like that right there is like we're getting used to it, so like it doesn't take too much. But with marketing wise, as everyone knows, we post a lot. As Phoenix said, reps. We have to post, and that's like because we want the community, not just our community, but like everyone else outside of like Iowa, surrounding areas, to know about our event too. So that right there, that's a huge like prep within the market, right? So then reaching out to everyone, we have like the whole maps. We have to create the maps. We have to go set up all this and that too. So a lot of it's a lot of work. So you want to add on a lot more? Yeah,
it's a process.
It's a process.
You know,
we're a 2-man team.
Yes,
so,
which is very helpful. Like it's to look at. Couldn't definitely do anything without Boey. You know? Like it's planning this process, like especially those bigger ones, they take so much time. Yeah, because you have to approve everybody, but on top of that, the partnerships, like to meet with people, to talk with them, just these venues, like it's new. Like a lot of this stuff is new, so it's a pitch too. Unless you get those like the valets and stuff, they get it. But like going up to Big Grove, the pitch to do that, and be like, hey, like. You guys don't normally do this, but this would be cool, and we bet it could bring some business and like from that kind of side, and then the marketing of it.
And that one was nice too, because they kind of
it was.
Yeah.
And so it's just dope. Like it's but the process to do it, it takes a long time. Like a lot of it's like 60 days out, like learning about stuff, knowing what we're doing. Our calendar out to December, you know what I mean, or January. We started January. We knew what we were doing in June. Like Boey was saying, like it's 6 months ahead, so it's planning the schedule not only of our normal business but our personal lives too, and life in general. So like it's like planning birthday parties or hangouts and stuff. It's like I got you the second week of September, like that kind of stuff. So it's been cool to see it grow though. Like it's hard work, especially with the shop now. We've built a team, which has been great, and we're working on building a bigger team. And it started with just the two of us. Now we have people that pass out flyers. Shout out Olivia. Like we have different people that are doing different things, and that used to be just us. Like we used to drive around and pass out flyers, and now we have the opportunity to give different work to other people too. And so, I mean, even just the 2-year, we were talking like next time we need trash. We're gonna go. We were out till midnight, putting out trash and like putting that stuff. So that's how it goes.
Well, again, to our listeners, we are live here at DSM Flea today, talking to the owners, Phoenix Lee and Boey Lu. Let's talk about the day of the event. So it's event day. What's the most stressful part about event day itself?
Well, first off, we gotta wake up crack of dawn. Right?
It's always early.
Usually it depends if we gotta get there and set up. We gotta be the first ones. Right. And then say we have our event starts at 11. Well, let's just say it starts at 10, right? Yeah. We got to be there at least by 7. Just to make sure, like, for instance, we'll go off the 2 years. So we just did that. We got to do porta potties. For instance, right? Porta potties, they say they're going to be there at 7. You don't get there until 11. So like, things that nature. One stressful thing, right? So it's like little stuff like that, like little things like that people don't really think about. I'm like, all right, cool. I got to be there at this time because they're going to be there. People run late, schedules, things happen, right? And like when we like going into preparation, we try to organize like time slots. Right. Those time slots never really work, but it does help us though. It helps, and we need that because we need time frames for people to come in, people come out. Honestly, the hardest thing about the day is really just setup. And breakdown isn't always bad. Sometimes breakdown can be really easy. For instance, breakdown is simple. Like pretty, everyone's in and out, right? Very simple. We can get out within an hour, right? But then, for instance, our 2-year breaking down, it was just a two of us, right? And then we had a lot of food this time, and we've had food before, but this one we had food trucks, a whole row of all food, right? There incorporates trash. Maybe we didn't really think about all that, right? Because everyone was out by 10:30. Next thing they're like, shoot, we got to pick up the trash, yard signs, so we're like doing all that stuff.
Random stuff.
Yeah, that's honestly the most stressful thing is just like really the back end stuff. When the show gets going, everything usually is just smooth. You know what I'm saying? We check in with vendors. Hey, y'all good? Y'all good? Everyone's usually good. You know what I'm saying? So, we check and see, are you guys thirsty? We have water, things of that nature. We gave away free Monster.
That was
what's that? So shout out to them. But I mean,
and I do like that you guys go around. It's not just hey, come here and vend. It's like, hey, how's your experience? Are you how are you doing today? Have you sold some stuff? And so it's not just hey, come and set up a table. It's an experience for you, and it's a way for you to get your name out there.
We want to keep that. Yeah, it's a good feedback, and we want to keep that relationship with these vendors too. Like, hey, we're not just these guys that's like you said, oh, hey, here, come here. Like, we want to have this connection with you. We want to build a relationship with you. And we want people to come back. We want people to like love our events. You know what I'm saying? And from the feedback, we hear good things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, we go literally, we team up once it's like, you know, beginning, maybe an hour after, it's like, yo, let's make a round.
Yep.
We literally go to every single vendor. It's like, yo, y'all good? Do you guys need anything? So I think that, you know, I've been to events where I've never even met the people.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I really have.
Oh,
And so, yeah, and I mean, nothing against it, but, you know, I think the way that we like to run things, we just like to like have the relationship with our own community.
Yeah.
Like going back to like some vendors, it's their very first time vending. So why wouldn't I want to introduce myself as like, hey, we're the ones that's like, this is
Like,
our
are you
event.
good?
Are you
Just
guys
making
good?
sure
You're making
he's
sure.
good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, going back, like a lot of people started our events like for the first time.
Yeah.
We have a lot of first time vendors. Like on the application process, it says, have you vended before? When we see no's, we're like, okay, let's see what they got.
Yeah.
Like let's give them that chance. You know what I'm saying? So then, even from our first 31, like we've had people that have never vended and they've vended with us almost every single time after that.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
It's been cool to
so
see.
it's like kind of cool, yeah. So like going back to like the stressful part of it, I mean, really, it's just really set up. But once things get going, everything's usually
Setups,
smooth.
it's probably the most stressful, and it's just as the bigger that the event gets, like as the bigger like our company gets and everything, like there adds a little bit more stress, but like it's really smooth after. I always joke, like even 2 year, it was like talk to me after a couple hours and we'll be good. Like
I'll give you one example. The worst time it would have been Kyle's Common last year.
Oh yeah,
we set up for the next to the farmers market.
Yeah,
and it poured on us. Poured on us. Like 7 in the morning, straight rainfall.
And then right when it came, it was just done.
Yeah, and then the next thing you know, it was done. Yeah, and it was hot.
Yeah,
I would have been mad while it was raining, thinking, "Oh, the event's ruined," and then it clears up, and
But it turned out to be one of our best events.
You know, really, and I feel like a lot of those things are like quick second, and that's like self conversation. You know, at least like personally, it was like, how do you adapt quickly, and then don't let everything get to you. You know, like that's been the biggest thing. Like. It's if something happens, it's out of control. Control the controllable is like my biggest thing. And so if something happens, like porta potties don't show up, or like it's like, all right, well, we still have a thing. We still got to go with the flow and just go from there. And that's honestly been the biggest thing, because I used to be really hard on myself with events of like, if people, you know, if something happens or this thing, and like over time, it's just like, okay, what can you control right now? And just go from there.
Yeah. Now I think both of us are really just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Something happens, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep going. Yeah.
So now I just want to talk a little bit more about the events. What are some of your upcoming events that you want our listeners and viewers to know about that are going to be coming up right in our backyard?
Yeah. So upcoming, we have this Sunday, we have Vintage at Valère. It's from 11 to 5. Soul Shots will be there too.
That's right. That's right.
So it's over 50 vendors. We're going to have snacks there. We're going to have vintage clothing, local artists, makers, bakers, creators, what we always say. And then downstairs at Work in Progress, there's going to be a vinyl pop-up. And then actually 85 Bar West, usually out in Waukee. They do the Italian beefs. They do the Chicago dogs. They're going to be popping up downstairs too.
Nice.
So Italian beef on Sunday as well.
Okay.
It's one of our favorite events. It's this great partnership we've got with Valère. And then you get into July, and there's going to be a bunch of great things going on in July as well. We'll have the Vinyl Book Club with the Panda Bear listening party. That's July 7th. Just so much more. I mean, like we always just check the socials, and then we always post at the beginning of the month, like, hey, this is everything that's going on.
And at DSM Flea.
At DSM Flea everywhere that you TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Not X, but we have it.
Very nice. Okay, so wrapping up the events, is there a vendor success story that stands out to you?
I feel like in the success with the, like I said, going back to the vendors that just started, they were so shy, scared to start doing anything. For instance, I have at my other job, I had a coworker. She never vended before. She was the artist. She painted. I convinced her to like do our first event, and then she literally continued on. And we have plenty of those. And to me, I feel like that's a success, because they were scared and they were shy to even jump into a market, and then they tried ours for the first time, and now they're making money and like adding to their income in their regular life. Like that feels like a success for me. Yeah. Like honestly,
I think that's to piggyback on that. Like people like that like have that I don't know if I should do it, like, you know, blah, blah. And then they do it, and then they just keep going on. And then now they're so confident, and like, not only like their art, but like their sales as well.
Yep.
And honestly, I think about Austin too, like 9-2, right? So Austin moved from Florida.
Yeah.
And then we met at the Pick or Nose, just he was wearing a Sting shirt. I was like, that's a dope shirt, you know, just guy friendship, like just like, and then we became friends afterwards. But then I found out he sold. I was like, you should start doing some of our events. And you think now that like Austin at the time was like a manager at Journeys.
Yep.
And because of doing events, because of, you know, making that side of income, like he was able to quit his job and do this full time now. And like, it's cool to see that process of like somebody that like knows what they want and loves what they do, but because of, you know, our monthly opportunities, like they've grown so much. We have a friend that's coming in now from Iowa City, and he's moving finally to Des Moines. We were excited about, but like his first thing was like, what's the events? What can we get into? And that's all he does. He does eBay and vintage. And this. So to be able to be like, hey, you're coming into a space that you can make some money off of it and like really grow. It's going to be cool. So it's cool to see the people vintage grow. It's cool to see the artists grow, especially the artists. Like, you know, the art scene here is so great. It is. But especially like, you know, street artists or just people that maybe can't get into some of those, like the Des Moines Arts Festivals and those kind of things. Like to see them flourish and then get into spaces where they can do some of that kind of stuff is really dope. To become a little bit more, you know, known in the area and the community is like our biggest goal is, you know, for those people.
Sure. Okay. Before we get into the rapid fire personal stuff and then the quick tour, is there anything else you want the viewers or the listeners to know about DSM Flea, what they're all about, or anything like that I didn't ask?
Man, I would just say like DSM Flea was, you know, it started with
an idea.
Yeah, an idea, literally. And it started with, you know, Boey and Phoenix, you know, to say in a way, like started with us. It started with our love of vintage, our love of fashion, our love for the people in the community. And honestly, it's just anyone's welcome. You know, even if like speaking on vendors, like if you have an idea, if you want to try it out, like please come to a show, come and apply and stuff. And as far as the space comes at the shop, like same thing, like we have people doing pop-ups here all the time. Like just honestly, to speak on DSM Flea, I'd also speak on the personal side too a little bit, is if you have a dream, go for it. You know, this is something Bowie and I have been dreaming about for a long time. We've been at this for 10 years, you know, through the ups and downs, through the full-time jobs, to the unemployment, to the, like, you know, everything in between. Like, it's been dope to see just us grow as men, but then also just in business and to see it. And so if you have something that you want to do and you have a dream, just like go after it, take those reps, take those day-by-day steps, and you'll see the outcome. Like you can't do anything if you don't start, you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And so
absolutely.
That's kind of been the biggest thing. Like DSM Flea is an acceptance of us going after those dreams. And so we did stuff before this, you know, we worked at different places before this, but I feel like once we started DSM Flea, you know, him and I have like both, like we've both been on places where like we took moments like where we're like, oh, we're kind of down, and him and I have both picked each other up in different moments. But then on top of that, with business too, DSM Flea was the first thing where it felt so official. Like, and we said that multiple times in the beginning. It was like, this feels different. This feels different. And so if you feel that feeling, I guess that would be the biggest thing that I want to like get across. It's just, if you feel that feeling, whatever you do, like just really attack that feeling.
You got to
like,
run
go
with
after
it.
it.
I love it. I love it because I live by you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So I completely agree with that. So with the rapid fire, we're going to go alternate. So I'm going to alternate. Okay. So Bowie, I'm going to start with you first. First thing that comes to your head. Okay. Coffee or energy drink?
Oh man, I do energy drinks. Only one though.
Which is?
I'm old school. This is crazy. I drink Nas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird. But I only drink on car rides.
Okay.
Like what was it? Like long car rides. Road trips. That's it. That's it.
All right, Phoenix. Early bird or night owl?
Oh. That's tough. I would say night owl. I do get up early, but I'm more of like a stay up late kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite local Des Moines spot?
Ooh, shoot. It's DSM Flea right here.
There you go.
This is the best spot to come to. Hang out, kick it, bring your food. We got drinks. Yeah.
I love it.
Pull up.
Favorite local coffee shop?
Ooh. That's tough. I'm gonna run a quick four. This is my solid four. This is my Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
So Mars Cafe, Drake Neighborhood, Horizon Line Coffee, Daisy Chain, And honestly, I'd say it's a toss-up, right? I would say Slow Down or Chain and Spoke. Those are like the final, the kind of four. All great places, all for different reasons.
Yep.
But great coffee, great vibes.
Okay. Boey, if you were to pick a brand ambassador, who would be that person? So the DSM Flea brand ambassador, they're on the billboard. Who's that person?
Man, I don't. Dang.
Come back. I'll talk.
Ambassador. Dang. I hate to say it. I don't know.
Phoenix? Who would you think?
He is right here. Are we thinking like celebrity or like
Celebrity? Who? Anybody? It could be me up there. You know? I mean, anybody.
I don't know why I was thinking like branding. I gotta go with the I love like friggin' Pharrell or either like Ye, you know what I'm saying? Like I love those two, yeah.
Absolutely. Ye kind of fits the mold because he kind of wears the clothing he produces almost looks vintage, you know, in a sense. So I can definitely follow that as well. Dream collaborator or dream collaboration. If you could pick someone to collaborate with, who would it be?
Oh, I would say, honestly, off the top, a New Era hat would be fire.
Cap would be hard.
A cap would be hard. Like,
that'd be fire.
We've had homies that have done stuff and everything. So like that's something that's always been on like the mind of like imagine like a ball cap team, but like put like the flea on the side, but also like do something that's based off an album or something like that.
It's doable. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Well, at New Era, they may be hitting you up. Well, what do we say about doing a little tour?
Yeah.
What do you think? You want to show us around a little bit, and we'll grab the camera and we'll walk around a little bit. I am with Phoenix, Lee and Boey Lu. They're going to show us around the store now. There will be customers in here as well, again, because we are live on set today. So, fellas, go ahead and just show us around.
So right when you walk in, you have the gallery wall. This is, I think, something that we've always wanted to have in the store. Like, this is the first thing people see. We got everything, all of our favorites. We got the 2001 Tony Hawk, you know, classic with the Rodzilla. We found that years ago, kept that. You know, the big mirror, mandatory. This Mariah Carey, believe it or not, you flip it over on the other side of the shoulder, but
Really?
it's a reverse.
I didn't know that.
You know, we got the Child's Play 2, Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe Called Quest.
Hair Jordan.
Classic.
Shakira.
Classic.
A little bit of everything. And then over here, too, we got the bulletin board. So not only does it, you know, we'll put different people's events, different things like that going on, but we have a photo booth as well that we'll show in a second. But we let people put up their, like, different photos, you know, like just create the memories, kind of, you know, put that community kind of aspect to the shop.
Love it.
Usually we'll have a seating area right here.
Just like a conversation pit?
Yeah, a little conversation pit. It's the dope part that's happened like recently too is like people have actually been sitting here and like talking, like just hanging out and stuff. We sell different non-alcoholic drink products, and we're gonna get you know, some beer and wine in here soon as well. So you can
Fun fact about this rug: this is my family's rug from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've had this in the garage for years, so it came into great space.
It's all part of it. It goes in.
Going into the photo booth here, we knew that we needed to have this in our store. Like, this sets us apart from a lot of different stores, vintage stores in the community too. Shout out Majestic Photos. Great, all the branding, everything. It was so dope. So people coming here, they don't give a shot sometimes.
No, they'll
come in for the photo booth, leave. I'm like, perfect. I'm cool with that. You know, it brings people in, they see it. So we love that.
And then over here, we'll go here real quick. We do kind of coffee table books is what we call it, but we curated a little selection of everything from streetwear to photography to even art, like stuff like this. Like, this is all about the rise of Jamaican dance hall culture, like from the 80s and 90s and stuff, just like different photos, like all just crazy stuff like that. So your classic Supreme Volume 2. We also do CDs, cassettes, a little bit of everything with music. And then we have like our heat rack is what we kind of call it. So a little bit of everything. We always switch this out. So right now we got like classic Undertaker, the three-peat Lakers. That's that Tokyo exclusive babe we were talking about. And then all over print X-Men. And then Bo, you want to tell them about?
Cool. And then right here, we built out this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 two-tier rack. Before we got into the store, when we opened up in May, we knew that we needed to have something that like just showed everything like great. Like, before this, it was like just like vinyl stuff, but then we knew we needed to put it up. So this is like over 200-300 shirts, something like that. We're restocking every week. So definitely come in, check it out. It looks a little crazy. We've been busy today, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been busy. Let's talk about what's here.
Yeah.
These
of
are
course.
also hidden gems.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here we have two of our really great vendors. We have Jazz Jewelry. She's based from Des Moines, now lives in Chicago. She makes rings out of sterling silver, so spoons and forks and stuff. You could have like an antique spoon or fork. She does commission as well.
Yep.
And then we have Max Candle Co.
Max Candle Co.,
So Markel and his mom, they have a store in Chicago too, where they do candle classes.
Also
and
like a community spot
Yeah, a
too,
little
where they
community
like
spot.
show how to make candles and all that stuff too.
Really
So
dope. And
shout
then
out them.
They sell candles here.
Yep.
Really great, scents and everything. Then fridge is a little messy, but we have different local drinks, and then also we have some drinks that you can't really get here. So like Laurel's Coffee, they're out of Los Angeles, so canned coffee. Afropop, which is butterscotch cream soda. They're also based out of Los Angeles, I want to say as well.
Yeah.
And then we start heading down this way.
We just show them.
Yeah, we have the mural that was done by Grizz Paints.
Grizz will be coming on as well.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, shout out Grizz, shout out Eric.
Man, he did this in like 5 days.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like he
Killed
killed it. Flip, that's our Flip
Our
the Flea,
mascot,
our
yep.
mascot. So he was able to put that up. The fun fact about this boombox, though, so back at Illis Around, he did part of the mural that was in our vintage section,
Yep.
and he had this boombox there. So it's kind of
remember the boombox.
the
Yeah.
full story of like bringing it to here.
Yep.
And this story kind of tells like everything about like Des Moines and like what we do. From the Illis Around days to our events to like the city and to now DSM Flea.
Fun fact too, if you go outside this alley,
Yeah.
you look down, you literally see the principal building.
Yeah.
Like straight shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, shout out
Great
Eric,
concept.
bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great concept there.
And then, we have our vendors here. So right here, we have all of our women's kind of Y2K kind of stuff. So we have Pretty Lily's Vintage, Eclectic Vintage, and then for
Yeah, 9-2.
menswear, we have 9-2 right there. Another little seating section over here to show off some of the source magazines. That's we were able to curate like a really great selection of different sources, everything from the 90s to 2000s.
Yep.
Nelly brought the couch for my old apartment. This is from the 70s. I got this at an estate sale for $20.
Brand
and
new?
It was brand new. It
Wrapped
still
up?
had the wrap. I thought about leaving the wrap, like just
Yeah.
and then we just put some couch pillow on there.
So for those of you that don't
Yeah.
know this, when I was growing up, this had plastic on it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You sat on it with the plastic
Yep.
on it.
Yep.
That's why I thought about it. I was like, no, we'll see.
That would have been full
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Yep.
Crazy. And then we'll go into this room here. And then we have our vinyls that we have here. Shout out Boggs.
Yep.
He supplies vinyl weekly, everything from new to old. So definitely come in. I know we took over Marv's Records before.
Yes.
So people still are learning that Marv's is not here and they're learning about DSM Flea. So we're like, yo, we still got vinyl on the back. They love it. They still get it here. So that's good. And then we have some customers in here, but we also have a whole rack of VHS. Physical media.
Yeah.
Shout out Phoenix. He's on top of it.
So this curation, I have a big collection at home. So the idea was just it's growing so much. So we're going to bring different DVDs, VHS tapes, all that kind of stuff to here. And this room's growing too. We just got, usually we have that Brittany that's in the background. They'll be in here. We're going to try to make this a little bit more, carpets on top, a little bit more different lighting and everything as well. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really nice.
Quite the setup, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have a setup unlike other vintage stores that I've been in. And, I just have to say, guys, I'm very proud to see you start from the archive to where you are today.
Yeah.
And, so much of what the community needed, you guys are bringing through
thank you.
your events, through this store. So I want to give you my heartfelt congratulations
Cool.
for
Thank
your
you.
success. And,
Seriously.
I want to also say best of luck to you as you continue to grow.
Yeah.
I will say Soul Shots will always support you
Man,
all at your
appreciate
events,
you.
and whether they're indoor or outdoor,
Yeah.
we will make it work. And,
Yeah.
but again, I just want to thank you both for coming on. To our listeners and to our viewers, this is Claude Wilkins with Iowa 411, the podcast that gives you the 411 on all things Iowa. I want to thank my guests, Phoenix Lee and Boey Lu, for coming on, and all of their team at DSM Flea. We're signing out for today. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.